I don't think. Links.
Oh, well, that's what a committee
Ladies
is.
and gents, 7 o'clock on the dot. So welcome everybody to tonight's resources. We've got any apologies? I've received any.
I've done
Nobody for the public session is there. Okay, any declarations of interest from anybody? No. Okay, minutes for the last meeting. So we've got the 4th of September and the 11th of September. We're happy to receive those and all of those.
those, agree them both. And
Members happy to agree those?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, budget, item 4. So 4.1, we've got a summary income and expenditure, appendix A. And that is page 3 of 19. Anybody got any questions to ask on this page?
let's do the sound.
There are helpful explanations for particularly the ones where we miraculously have more money than we thought, which is always very nice.
A lot of the budget lines that are very out percentages are income lines, and that's due to the push we've had this year on grants and getting additional funding from outside. So
Yeah. Which is great.
Okay, so go down to page 4 of 19, so the appendix A. Any questions on that page? Okay, then give it to the. Okay, so now 4.2, we've got detailed income and expenditure reports and summary of budget variances, appendix B. And that is page 5 of 19. So has anybody got any questions on page 5? Give them a minute, it's quite a lot here. Okay, still on appendix B, page 6 of 19. Any questions?
Good to see we've had more on 1190, good to see we've got more interest received. That's positive news, and good news.
Okay, still on appendix B, page 7 of 19. Robin?
Yeah, what's the class understanding of 1056 round about 6? It's got a different figure in everybody else. What's the understanding about that?
1056. We don't currently have a sponsor for it. We are trying to get one sorted ASAP. So we were hoping to get that money
That's
for
a
it.
small one. It's not a small one. The next one.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a roundabout test, and sorry, I'm not sure. That's which. Sorry.
Drive around the roundabout and work out whether we haven't got a sponsor on. So, although I'm not usually looking at the roundabout, I'm trying to look at the road. Really.
Brilliant. I thought we had a little waiting list, didn't we have like 2 or 3 companies that were on a waiting
And then when the push came from shove, and we actually want money out. It is something that Nina is trying to address.
Right, okay, thank you. Robin?
Yeah, just on 204, devolved services. I did send to the town clerk and she'll decide whether it's relevant, but there was 2 reports on devolved services that went to Blivett's cabinet on how they're going to work going forward. It might be something that needs to be delineated because it's quite different from the original conversation, but I don't want to go into it. I think it's something that Claire will look through and it will come to the appropriate committee on devolved services, whether it makes any difference to us or it doesn't make any difference to us financially going forward or not. But there is quite a change between what they aspirations of the shadow authority and the present aspirations of the Buckinghamshire Council with devolved services. Explanations in there are income related, as you can imagine, but nevertheless, we do devolve services, so I've sent the information to the town clerk. It will be come to this committee or environment, whichever one she deems it appropriate.
You have, and Lee and Steve and I are having a few discussions around that. We will put something together and bring it to members. And at the moment, we're still talking it
I
through.
think just me giving an opinion on it really won't help. It needs to be interpreted specifically for our council, really. The broad conversation might not have anything to do with us, but
Yeah, well, thank you for doing that. Okay. So still on appendix B, page 8 of 19. Any questions on that page?
four one six 2 unexpected essential repairs. What was that?
When we're looking.
Lathing repairs and maintenance.
Fire doors.
4161 glacier repair maintenance. We've got unexpected essential repair to fire exits ×3.
Must be door fitting. Is it them doors that keep messing about?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
but don't seem to function how they should do.
Never had a problem.
No, they've always been a bit less than perfect. So.
Okay, still on appendix B, page 9 of 19. Okay.
I did mention this last time, but on 1097 and 410, at some point will we be bringing back what that is to be the CCTV?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that you're waiting for information, and that's why it's still as it is.
They balance out. So 1097 is the grant for £4,000, and then that's made the C. So that's the income line. We gained a £4,000 grant.
Yeah.
And then the line below it, CCTV maintenance, is the budget line that we spent that money back out of. So as you can see, 4100 is £4,000 over budget, but that's because it's balanced by the £4,000 income that we received from the grant.
So that's an environmental issue anyway, isn't it?
So they do balance. There was, I think, we're calling back to, there was a discussion in the environment because there was £400 was in the wrong budget line around parks development.
Yeah.
So we'll straighten that out with Jodie, and that's the two of them budget balance each other perfectly now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Excellent, thank you for that. Okay, still on appendix B, page 10 of 19.
I don't know about this one. 42020 cost not invoiced and music in the market.
music in the market.
I will have to check on that.
No,
It's
no,
only
no.
£16 out, and I'm not entirely.
I don't know what that's if we've not discussed it, or what it's not something that probably you've been in a position to inform the committee in any case, but
To be honest, I'm sorry, it's £16.
I know
Don't
that you
discuss,
just said
so I
it's
don't
not
have to check.
interest. But that's probably not your fault.
I can't remember what that relates to. I don't know if there was something a bin or something we didn't pay for last time that's
Yeah,
pushed it over. Can I definitely come back?
yeah, that's fine.
Come back onto your committee.
Yeah, it can come back
Yeah.
if you've got any. If it's nothing, you can just put a note in the agenda what it is in the budgets. And
Yeah,
just so we know what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, that line could be better, more descriptive, really,
No.
and remind me as well.
I don't think there's anything to worry about there. It's just I don't know what it is.
Okay, John?
Yeah, forgive me for going backwards. £3 solar income from the solar panels on Lace Hill seems remarkably low.
We don't have any income there, so I have asked Jodie to try and find out for me why we've suddenly received some income. I don't know if it's a refund. I don't know, but I have looked into it.
But we should be getting income anyway from the solar
Not getting
panels.
any income from it.
But we're always using more than we're generating.
Because we don't have a meter we can sell back to the grid, and because we can't get any electricity companies to install a meter to sell back to the grid at the moment, we don't make any solar income.
We've had this discussion before, it's like that under here, environment.
We've had it there in environment
I
a
will
couple
say,
of times.
Brian, yet again, because I know Octopus are reopening to the residential market in the years. He is genuinely pushing us to try and get it sorted, because we don't want that meter in there, it's expensive anyway. We are stuck because nobody will come and change it.
Well, that means we're being ripped off, because electricity is, if we're producing more electricity than we're using, it will be going back into the grid.
I would say we aren't generating a huge amount more than we are using anyway, so
Okay,
I don't think we're losing out on a lot. It would probably be £500-600 a year. Is my rough guesstimate.
okay.
The sell by prices aren't particularly great either. So there's not a huge pool of money we're missing out of, but it is a frustration and it's something we are trying to solve, if nothing else, because it's a waste of electricity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it isn't actually going back into the grid, is it? Because we haven't got the connection
No.
where it goes back into the grid, so it basically just evaporates.
No,
Sort of.
it can't.
If you don't have the right connection, it's not going back in the grid.
Don't believe physics will let you just evaporate electricity. It
I
must
think
be going
evaporate is the wrong word and I'm not
Yeah.
a specialist on it, but we aren't exporting to the grid.
Okay.
Is my understanding from what I've been told, so that's.
Yeah, I think we've had it under when you were chairing environment and a number of times we've discussed it, haven't we? And it is frustration.
Yeah. And it has to do with the fact that the electricity companies aren't, if I remember rightly, aren't under the same obligation
Yeah.
vis-a-vis councils or public bodies as they are for individual households. So with individual households, they have to facilitate taking it from you, but they don't have to do this for the council. They're not keen to take on new council accounts. And that is the problem.
It was,
A very brief, my understanding is that a lot of, when all the electricity companies, well, not all the electricity, a number of electricity companies collapsed, all of the big players picked up hundreds of thousands of customers that they didn't necessarily want or need. So therefore, there is no real incentive for them to go out. This is why you can't negotiate. It's starting to get a bit better and the market is opening, but it's been very difficult to negotiate even on your personal gas and electricity, because there was a cap and everybody has inherited 100,000 extra customers when various other companies have collapsed. The market is starting to change and things are happening, and I will say again, Lee is doing his best to try and get a better deal on that.
yeah. Yeah, no, frustrated for him as well, isn't it? So, okay.
It does keep coming up, this question, he asks the same questions and now he has given the same answer, and so it's
Yeah.
but I think perhaps what I would suggest is that at some point when Lee's got the additional information, to bring back the progress report, the aspirations and what we did and what we put in. The next questions would be, how is it funded? And I think people won't remember that. I think I can remember how it's funded. I don't want to actually go into it now. But I think it might be interesting just to see that, because it might allay some of the concerns around it, because
I mean, I would say we are saving on our electricity because we are using the electricity that we're generating. We are using. So it's not been, I wouldn't, it's not been a waste of time doing it. We are using that electricity. We're saving thousands of pounds a year, and we're not generating. When we decided, and I mean, this is going back a while, when council decided what system we were going to go for, we didn't go for one that was going to generate a huge amount of excess. We kept the budget tight and we went for what we thought realistically we were going to use. So we're not wasting a huge amount, but we are saving because we are spending that money.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, so on your point, I think I would just imagine Lee would do that anyway. Once more information comes forward and he's had a chance to battle it out.
but I'm conscious we keep asking the same questions of officers, which we've already asked, which is
I would want to wait till he's actually got information rather than him bringing a report back now, because it's going to be the same that we've discussed previously.
but my memory is similar to Annie's on this. So.
Yeah. Okay, right, still on appendix B, 10 of 19. Appendix B, page 11 of 19. And page 12 of 19. Okay, so now appendix C, purchase ledger invoice listings, page 13 of 19. Okay.
Just the two, got two down there, right at the very bottom of the first page. One's a large figure and one's a small figure. They were designed for the organisation to do our production. Are they in line with what we thought they were going to be? And that one was in the newsletter, I believe. One was some other small consideration.
So.
But town matters.
So you said the last two, that's down.
No, there's on those figures, the page that you're on, I believe you're on 13 and 19.
You have got Black Dog Design.
Yeah, are those figures what we thought they were going to be? Because I think they were.
I've not been made aware of any anomalies.
No, that's fine. It's just
Budget.
that we do worth noting that that's the town, Buckingham Town Matters, because Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, we did another edition which was to do with the free. Didn't we did a special one for that, and I can't see that there. We transferred the budget heading.
I don't know if that would be in these, would it?
It's been a long time ago, would it?
It's September, aren't they? So
Because it was a lot, but
before.
yeah,
September.
yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I can sort that out in my own head afterwards. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably go back a couple of agendas and you might find the information there.
Nothing else to clock it for them.
And also, we've always got CSG minutes, haven't we? Okay, so still on appendix C, page 14, 19.
The 12th of the 9th, 2023, the AD units, cardiac units, maintenance contract. Could we remind me what part of that contract we're doing, or is it something that we should just bring a reminder of it? Because I know there are various ones around, and they're all doing one job. It's got an amount in there. Is that an amount we're paying for? Is that an amount?
That's the servicing on the machines.
That's the
The servicing on the ones that are ours to make sure that.
yeah. That's what. That makes sense. Yeah, because there are a lot around the town, but they're not all ours.
No. Yeah, it was never our ambition to take them all
No,
on. Page 15 of 19. Page 16 of 19. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
done.
So just going back to 1319, National Express tickets, they had 160 odd quid.
Everyone's self-video jail, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's
it's,
information.
Oh, because yeah, all right, yeah, got it.
saw your bus yesterday. When you want to come to
Yeah.
Buckingham,
Yeah.
they're flying past Badgers.
I'm travelling on it tomorrow.
You are.
Okay, so item 5, fund transfers, just to make those.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. I want to confirm why that was season in and out. What was the reason behind that? There's a context around that.
to generate as much interest as possible, because the interest rate is high at the moment.
In the current
Almost
account.
2 months of interest on putting that 100,000 in and then taking it out when we needed it. So there are, my predecessor didn't move money particularly between the accounts a lot, but to be fair, the interest rate was very low, whereas every time I can transfer money into the CCLA account, I do, so I'll try and keep as much in there as I can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mark's going to distract me.
Okay, item 6, quarterly banking reconciliations, for the verbal update. Rita.
I have been advised the vice chair has been in and signed off the quarterly banking reconciliation.
Thank you very much, Howard. Item 7, budget headings, we've got reports.
So I have asked every committee to have a look at their budget headings, their budget lines for the next budget. With resources, I've had a good long conversation with the rest of the team. We can't think of anything. I didn't speak to you as well about it. We can't think of any changes that we feel are required. So my recommendation is to keep the same budget lines for the budget for next year.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, John?
Agreed, so.
Oh.
We don't know that.
It's fine, I don't have the weeks here, so we're fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, right, item 8, 32-day notice account. We've got a report from Jodie.
So we basically have, if we consider our CCLA fund to be a bank account, we basically have 3 bank accounts. We have a current account we use for all our everyday transactions. We have our CCLA account, we get a decent rate of interest, variable rate of interest on. And we have a 32-day notice account. This account has been around since, as far as I can remember. It's got currently £10,420 something in it. We can't use that because you can't withdraw more than £10,000, sorry, less than £10,000 out of it, but you must keep a minimum of £10,000 in it. Back in the, I'm sure originally when it was set up, it had a decent interest rate. At the moment, it's only got 2.6% interest on it, which is less than we're getting on the other account. But every time we have an audit or we need to produce our bank account details, we have to do all of the process for this 32-day notice account. I don't see any benefit to the council of keeping it. I can imagine, again, 20 years ago, it may have been useful to have an account with the security of requiring 32 days notice to get it out. But there's such a small amount of money in there, I just don't really see the point of keeping it.
Agreed.
You said that it got, what is the process for, we have to bring back a formal proposal to rationalise that into another account or move it into our CCE account, which is illogical.
Just the recommendation is that we
Yeah.
close that account
Yeah.
and move it into our common account. Is the recommendation.
Just seems absolutely logical, because how do we end up with that? And how do we only just find out about it today?
I don't even think it was, no, we have discussed it here before. I don't think it's even Paul. I think it was before his time.
No, it's way
Yeah.
before Paul, because I know Paul wanted to close it. I'm just thinking.
It might be something first started many moons ago.
It might be that.
Yeah. We have discussed closing it, I think, at our last meeting, so this is just a recommendation now.
Yeah.
I propose to accept that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed. Hands up, please. Thank you very much. It's unanimous. Thank you for that. Can you take that to Jodie's rather putting that report together, please? Thank you. Okay. Our meeting calendar, next be, so this is to recommend to full council. Has anybody got any queries, questions, concerns about the dates?
Can I just, it is basically the same layout as we've had the past few years. So we generally, we start with an interim planning or just straightforward planning, and then we roll to resources ready to recommend to precept meetings. So it's the same structure as before, no real changes on it. Probably the only thing to note is mayor making. We've pushed it back slightly in order to get it out of the half-term Easter holidays. To just make that slightly easier for people who've got children.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
It just makes it a little bit easier to, I mean, there's a few members as well, fewer people like to be away on holiday if we take it out of Easter week. So it was going to be the Friday of the bank holiday month, Easter Monday week, which I think a lot of people do.
Can't be Easter. Easter Monday is most definitely not in June. So, but the second May bank holiday would have been, yeah.
Sorry, that's fine. Sorry. I've confused myself now. Okay, let's try that again. We've moved the annual town meeting back out of the Easter holidays and they're making away from that back holiday. Just
Yeah.
Both of which make sense. Thank you.
So I'm happy to recommend this to full council.
So I'm sure that,
Yeah.
I'm sure something was sponsored,
Cheers, John.
nominee.
Yeah. All right, so I've got no announcements. You don't have any form, do you? No, good. Date of next meeting is Monday, 11th of December. Please don't go anywhere because we need to agree to go into private session. So members happy to close this meeting and go into private session.